Okay, back again. So, I went ahead and imported some of the original text from the game, and then I went back to edit or to write it in like story format. Now, as I was writing, I went to look at my instructions and found that there was something lacking, and so I added the instruction, and here's basically what I added so that you can follow with what I'm doing. So this is the document, and if you click on this pen over here, then when I move into the document, it makes this part bigger while shrinking the navigation bar. If I close this pen, then it fills in this whole section, which allows you to have more writing space. And then if I need to go back and see the navigation bar, I can mouse over it and it comes back. If I need to go and see the cards that would normally be on this side, I can mouse over and go back. If I want it to go back to the normal size, then I can click on the pen again, and that's going to keep the bar in place and still give me more writing space. Or I can close this bar or turn this bar off, or on rather. It's a pen. So, I click the pen and then it's going to go back to normal. And then when I'm moving the mouse back and forth, nothing is going to move around or readjust. Now, if I want to, I can also click on this. It's a typewriter thingy, and it's going to make this whole thing go into full screen. And then my whole entire page is displayed where I can just type, unencumbered, no distraction, no nothing. So that's pretty much how you get to the, make yourself have a larger workspace. And now, because I write and edit at the same time, I don't normally use that unless I'm in a zone. Like if I'm writing one of those scenes that I'm just going to dump everything out of my head and then go back and fix it in a minute sort of thing, then I'll use typewriter mode. But that's pretty much all it is. So in case you didn't see it, this is the typewriter that I'm clicking on now that makes it full screen. And these are the push pins that will shrink the left and right side or give you more writing space. If you want the instructions on that, then that can be found in the back here where we're on the getting started. Down here where we're talking about the 3 segments, that's where I just explained where the pins are. So if you decide to download this later, that's where you'd find it if you forgot how to do it. All right, so we're going to go back to the document for just a moment. And so I had the incoming or the raw file, and this is where I just copied this. I lifted this off of the game that I was playing with somebody. As I explained, that's where for this story, that's what I'm doing. I don't do this all the time. Normally I write games. This is a new this is something I just decided to start doing, just because I think it's easier for me to get into character, to have the character get their toe wet, prior to writing them into a complete novel. Although we'll see if it's something I'll keep doing, because otherwise I'll just write like I normally do, which is to just make up characters and write the story. But so I lifted this out of the game, and then I pasted it into this, and then I started to rewrite it. Now, this is where we get over into being able to switch screens back and forth. Now, I'm not going to open it right now, but I'll get into that in the next video to show how I was able to put two incarnations of this document up at the same time, because even though the easiest way to do it is to go into this part, do a Control A to copy all of it, or highlight all of it, or do the whole copy and paste thing. That's the easiest way to do it. But then there's also the what I would call the Scrivener way, in which you're going to put two side-by-side versions. And to do that in this would, you'd have to open two windows. And I'll show you how to do that later. I'm not going to do it now because I don't know what other tabs are open and I don't want to offend anybody if there's... I'm just doing this as I'm writing, and sometimes I lift data from other sources in order to do what I'm doing. So that's pretty much how you give yourself more writing space, and to make your, to be able to adjust, hiding and expanding your navigation bar, your document writing area, and being able to see your data cards. All right, that's it for this video, and I'll come back with the next one shortly, because as I said, I'm going to write this in 30 days. So this is just the beginning of chapter 1, and all I did was copy, paste, and then give myself more writing space to make a different version of the first section of the story. And then we'll get back to it shortly, and going over how you can split the screens and stuff like that. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.